What is up, guys? Alden Palantir here again to bring you guys another Game of Thrones episode review. This is going to be Season 3, Episode 6, entitled The Climb. Now, something about this episode you should all, think about, keep in mind. It was very informational, dialogue heavy, not too much action, but we did have some action, and the dialogue was good dialogue. And we had our epic moments, of course. Even in the dialogue, we had our epic moments, and we had a lot of information this episode. So, guys, just listen up. I'm gonna clear a lot of stuff up, and give my thoughts on the episode as a whole. But let's get into it, guys. We start off with Gilly and Sam. They're just talking over the baby. They're just chilling. Trying to keep in the best spirits. One important thing, really, their relationship itself is developing at this point. But one thing you should keep in mind about them, or keep in your thoughts, are the dagger that Sam found. It was a weird dagger, black, and he's like, it seems special, but I have no idea what it is. I'm just gonna keep it around, because just keep that dagger in mind, because it might pop up later, and you might be, I'm not going to give it, again, no spoilers here, but keep that dagger in mind. Next we go to Mira Reed, Bran's group, with the wildling girl, and, they're arguing about how to skin a rabbit. Nothing too important goes on here. If you're going to keep anything in mind, remember that they made a truce. They're trying to make peace, they're rivals, apparently, for some strange reason. They kind of fight with each other, but, at the end of the day, that doesn't matter as much as what I'm about to say, which is Jojen. Jojen Reed, his visions are accompanied by sort of a seizure. Apparently it brings him a lot of pain when he has these seizures, and it's when he has a dream. So the dream he had, he imagined Jon Snow at the wall surrounded by enemies. Now, we know that he's surrounded by enemies, but technically he's joined his enemies. It's a sort of, an ironic sort of thing that Bran doesn't know what's happening, but he thinks Jon Snow is in danger, and they're heading towards the wall, and they're just getting more information about the status of things over there. So, who knows how it's going to play out, but that's the status with that. Again, Bran's plotline really doesn't interest me as much as the others quite, but it's alright. Taking it for what it is. It's an okay plotline, just doesn't interest me as much as the others that are going on. Next, we go to, Ygritte and Jon. Ygritte, again, she has a weird sort of beauty around her. I think it's kind of weird, because I'm sort of attracted to her, but it's weird. It's just weird. So, yeah, she has a unique look to her. Anyways, getting on to their actual thing, you can see the relationship growing, and basically I'm just going to go over everything that happened with them. They work on climbing the wall, scaling the wall. The Orell the Skin Changer knocks down a part of the wall, hits Jon, and shit just doesn't go well when they're climbing the wall. And I'm just looking at that scene. It's really, really well done, well made. It looks scary as hell when they're actually climbing. All the wind blowing by, the snow. It looks like a tough thing. Really physically causing you to exert a lot of energy to climb the wall. So that was great as well. At the end, towards the end, Ygritte actually hits the wall, and a lot of it comes off, and a lot of their forces end up dying because of her hitting the wall with a pickaxe. It caused a crack, So that was interesting to see. Other than that, there was a whole scene with Jon having to, man up, save Ygritte, while their rope was being cut by the Skin Changer. So that was interesting as well. But, at the end, they were able to get to the top of the wall, and the scenery there was beautiful. But honestly, it didn't, it was good. It was good stuff, but it didn't interest me too much. Their journey up the wall. Neither did it interest me while I was reading the books. It's just a means to an end. They have to climb the wall to get where they're going, which is going to be where the big climax hopefully is going to go down. Who knows? But yeah, we know they're at the top of the wall, and now they're at the top of the wall, shit is going to go down. Anyways, next scene, we're going to go to Arya. Arya with, she's learning how to shoot a bow and arrow. I think it was interesting how when she was being taught, the teacher said, don't aim, that's how you hit your target. You have to, your eyes control where the arrow goes. It's pretty interesting. So, Okay, Melisandre goes to the Brotherhood Without Banners to talk to Thoros of Myr. And it was interesting, we found out a bit about his backstory, you know, how he used to be a non-believer, he used to be doing religion just for show, he used to go around drinking, having sex with women, all that stuff, until his friend Beric Dondarrion died. And when he died, Thoros, you know, said a prayer, just out of instinct, to try to revive him, and it actually worked. And then he was just like, holy shit, this religion is real. And now he's a devout priest. Now, something interesting, Melisandre bought Gendry from the Brotherhood Without Banners. They had needed supplies, they needed gold, they got their gold, Melisandre got Gendry. And it was interesting, when she took Gendry, she told him, she said, you are greater than these men will ever be. You cannot be a part of them. That was really, really interesting. And, you know, they're deviating from the book a little bit, but I can't really tell how it's going to go. It might be kind of like the filler at the end of season 2. Who knows, you know, how it's just a means, you know, to fill up some space. But they are changing a few things. Not too much. I'm hoping they're not going to go too crazy with it. But it's not too much so far. But all you have to know so far, Melisandre came, she got Gendry, and she got out. That's it. That's all that happened. Now, the torture, oh yes, the torture of Tyrion. That was pretty damn, oh my gosh. This is probably one of my favorite plot lines in the whole story. Tyrion's, oh not Tyrion, Theon's torture, oh my goodness. Like, he is not only getting tortured, but he's playing this sort of game with the guy that captured him. The guy that captured him, I'm not going to give away his identity, I'm not going to say anything about that. But damn, this guy is playing a game. He's like, alright, he's like, either you tell me you want me to cut your finger off, and I win, or you guess who I am, and you win. Tyrion guessed, and the guy made him think he was right, and he was actually going to be saved. And then he's like, nah, just kidding. And he did. Oh my gosh. And then Tyrion actually had to, Theon had to beg to get his finger cut off. Oh man, but that is probably one of my favorite plot lines. I was so disappointed. Okay, look, let me tell you how disappointed I was when the guy said he was Karl Stark's son. Like, I was like, don't tell me they're changing this part of the story, please. Don't tell me they're changing my favorite plot line, but they did not. They stood right on it. They're hitting the spot with Theon. They're doing it perfectly. His sadistic nature, amazing. Theon, the fact that he's losing all hope is amazing, and he's begging for himself to even, oh man, it's great. It's amazing how that's going. No complaints at all with the torture game that Theon's involved in right now. Now, Robb. Getting to Robb, Robb Stark. I don't like Robb. You know why? Because he's not a good leader. In battle, he's unmatched. But in, you know, thinking, reasoning things out, by marrying that girl that he ended up marrying, this was the wrong, he should not have done that. That was Robb's tragic flaw. That he married her, and then he killed Karl Stark, and everything's just spiraling out of control. And Robb now has to, he broke his vow to Walder Frey to marry Frey's daughter the first time, so now he has to follow up by promising Edmure, his uncle, to one of Walder Frey's daughters. Now, this is going to be a wedding that's going to occur very, very soon, by the request of Walder Frey, because he wants to see his daughter getting married before he dies. So Robb is going to be going there and taking care of business. But let me tell you guys, Robb is not smart. Okay, Robb is not smart. He's countless times shown us his tragic flaw, making decisions and not being able to back them up, making unstrategic decisions in crucial times. War is not a game, but Robb Stark is screwing up. He's doing things he should not be doing, and this may or may not come back to bite him. Who knows? It already is, but you know, that's how that goes. Let's see. Oh, Brienne and Jamie, their scene was pretty good too. They're talking to Roose Bolton, one of Robb Stark's bannermen, you know, that follows him. And what Bolton says, he's like, okay, I'm going to send Jamie back to King's Landing. I'm going to send Jamie to King's Landing. So basically, Roose Bolton is following at least that order to save his own neck, because he's like, if you tell Lannisters that I'm not the one that cut off your hand, I'll send you back. but he wants to keep Brienne and charge her for treason. This is an issue. And another thing I want to mention is by doing this and changing the storyline, they have taken out one of my favorite scenes in Game of Thrones that really further develops Tyrion's character, Jaime's character. They've taken out some of my favorite scenes. For book readers, you know what I'm talking about. A certain scene with Brienne and Jamie. But, you know, I'm hoping they're going to put something equivalent to it in the story. But if they don't, that'll be a big screw up, because I think that scene would have really worked well in the adaptation, and it wouldn't have been that hard to put in it, and it would have been really exciting. But, you know, it is how it is. It's not going to happen the same way anymore. It cannot possibly happen the same way anymore. It's nowhere as epic as it was in the book, but that's on them. Getting to Tywin and Lady Olenna, which is the Queen of Thorns. Their conversation was amazing conversation about, you know, Laura's supposed to marry Cersei and Tyrion's supposed to marry Sansa. So we know Tywin's demands, but Lady Olenna does not want to marry them because Cersei's too old. And this, the dialogue here was probably some of the most epic dialogue. I would rewatch this scene like 10 times if I could. I probably will end up doing it at some point when I can. But this was an amazing piece of dialogue, and it was great in general. I really enjoyed how they're both probably two of the smartest characters in the series, and they just had this dialogue. And at the end, I think they agreed to the terms of Loras. He's forced to join the Kingsguard, like what happened in the book, and then that marriage is obviously not going to happen. So, which was Tywin's kind of threat. And Tywin comes to terms and realizes that Loras is a really capable, amazingly skilled warrior. So, you know, Tywin wins either way. Lady Olenna wins either way. They're really both witty, and neither of them really won this exchange, which I find is really great, because they're both two of the most intelligent, great characters in the series by far. We are going to the scene with Loras and Sansa. That was really just awkward in general. It was awkward because, you know, Loras is gay, and you know Sansa just is infatuated with this guy that's obviously homosexual and not at all interested in her, and he's just so awkward in the conversation, and it's just great to watch. But all in all, it was a good scene. And Loras is lying through his teeth the whole time, man. But hey, man. So, okay, this is pretty much the last scene I'll be discussing. The scene with Peter Baelish and Varys. It was amazing. Basically what happens in this scene is they're talking about Ros, how Baelish sold Ros to a friend, and he tries new things out, and he took care of Ros, because Ros betrayed Baelish in a way for giving information to Varys. So basically, Ros's price for giving information to Varys was to die. Baelish, you ruthless motherfucker. Oh my gosh. So Ros, basically, she's dead. She got killed by fucking Joffrey. I hate Joffrey to death. Oh my god, this kid pisses me off. But yeah, Joffrey, oh my goodness. Joffrey shot her full of arrows because Baelish sold or gave Ros to Joffrey. Like, it was terrible. But I mean, that was the price she had to pay for that. Since Baelish found out. So it kind of ruined Baelish's plans temporarily, so he was pissed. By the way, quick side note, the Iron Throne looks amazing. The Iron Throne looks cool as hell, and I like the little conversation where it was like, oh, it has 1,000 swords, and Baelish is like, no, it has 200 or less, you know. So that was pretty interesting. But getting back to that, Baelish and Varys were having a conversation about the chaos that would ensue if certain information were given to the general public. Chaos. Varys is like, what? Why? None of us would benefit from the great pit of chaos that would be caused by this. And Baelish said one of the best quotes: "Chaos is not a pit; it's a ladder." That quote was great. Okay. And it showed this while showing a whole bunch of scenes, such as Joffrey he killed Roz, it showed Sansa, you know, being pissed off, you know, and she's crying because Sansa's she just pisses me off in general, but she has no control over her own life. She's always just being tossed around by other people to their whims, you know, whatever they want to do. She's always constantly being tossed around, disrespected, mistreated, but she deserves it because she cannot control her own fate for shit. But yeah, guys, this episode, I'll say it again, it was not the best of episodes. I would say it's probably the second most unexciting episode of the series. I would say the first episode was it was good, but you know, it wasn't up there with the other ones. And then there's this one, you know, it wasn't a great, fantastic episode. I feel like they could have done better with this one, but you know, it is how it is. And that granted, it is a great adaptation in general, you know. And the episode wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It had its great points, like Baelish's speech. We didn't see Daenerys at all let down. I want to see that hotness. I really want to see her. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't super great, but it was alright. You can't really write it off as being a terrible episode, because it wasn't terrible, but it just didn't stack up as far as the other ones are concerned. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching this review. Please stick around next week and the weeks after this for the review. Of course, subscribe if you really do want to see those reviews, guys, because I really would like a lot of you guys around, leaving comments, liking the videos, all that good stuff. Anyways, guys, peace out. Oh, before I go, by the way, I'm planning on reviewing the books chapter by chapter, or you know, I'll do a cluster of chapters at a time. I'll review them, give my thoughts, predictions, and I'm planning to do that in the off season. So when the season's done, I will do it. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about that. And again, let me just say, third season, this season, will be a legend when it gets to a couple parts. I promise you guys. If people are starting to lose faith because of this episode, let me just tell you, it's going to get a lot better. A lot better. Anyways, peace out, guys. Enjoy.